Hey, what's up, everybody? Internet friends all around the globe, especially Australia and the United States. Welcome to UFO Twitter News Nightly. This is our fourth episode, Thursday night, and it is March 19th, 2026. Trump's illegal war in Iran continues to rage. We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit about that. Um, but I got a loaded episode. I really do. I know everyone says that. It's like a cliche, corny ass thing to say. But I've got a pretty full episode here. What's up, bro? Uh, we got the recording to this Twitter space from yesterday, and it was a wild one. All the goofy ass characters were in the same space, and when I joined this space, the argument was over if the average Chris, a well known character on UFO Twitter, whether he's being paid to basically blow shit at UFO and alien whistleblowers. I've known the guy for a while. He came off like a prick to me. I was cool with him for a little bit, but he ended up blocking me because some petty like they all do. But that's not really the issue. I had most of my friends were trying to imply the average Chris is actually paid to discredit whistleblowers and push a specific narrative on UFO Twitter. And I'm going to be completely um, non biased about it. We're going to listen to this space and we're gonna react to that. Red Panda Koala comes off bad in that space. I'm just gonna tell you straight out the bat. Red Panda Koala is not gonna like this episode if he likes any of them. But that space did seem to expose him, and I got some videos from UFOlogy SWAT that'll actually feed into that more. But what it was mainly about was the average Chris. So we're gonna listen to this space, what we got of it. It's quite a bit. And after that, I'm going to go do a deep dive of the average Chris's X account on Twitter. And I'm going to mainly go through his replies and his posts. And I haven't looked through it yet. I haven't gone over and gone down it. And I'm going to decide without being biased, without, because the guy's been kind of a prick to me and some of my friends, but I'm going to be completely honest about it and say if I think the average Chris is a paid shill based on his behavior on UFO Twitter. And what Red Panda Koala was, you'll notice in this space, the gatekeepers are quick to come running to protect their own. These UFO Twitter gatekeeper crew. It's not an imaginary group like the Lou crew, the Red Panda Qual pushes. I can name who they are, and it's this small group of bros that have dominated the platform UFO Twitter, and they decide who gets promoted and who gets run into the ground. And whenever one of them is being um, in danger of their reputation being stained in any way. They come running to protect each other, and you'll notice that in this space. First it's Panda, and then Tupa pops up, and then I got Vetted showed up, even though he was afraid to join this space. But before we get to all that, pop over to the lab, and we're gonna go over some real quick. Go over some current events, like I always do. Anybody coming in late, appreciate everyone checking out my content. My video from yesterday did really good. It's up, probably pushing around 140 views now, and that's less than a day out. So that one's doing good. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go live tomorrow. I'm getting kind of a cold, so I was debating on if I was gonna take the day off. I'm starting to feel a bit of a chest cold or something. Let me jump over to the chat on YouTube here real quick and get the chat going so when people message it pops up. This is that clunky process I gotta do that I've talked about. Yeah, give me 1 second, y'all. You come over here. I'm gonna have to look into the Streamster thing where, and allegedly that does this process for you. All right, back over here. Luckily, I've gotten pretty quick with it. Okay, you go to chat, properties, then you replace the URL. Boom, there we go. Hell yeah, there we go, bro. Yeah, at least I've gotten kind of fast at doing it, but it's still kind of an awkward process. Content creation, am I right? Alright, let's jump over to the lab right here. Hope everyone's having a good night, getting close to the weekend
Calling.
and all
It's
that
just like
good stuff. That's Jay just talking there. That's in the space. I forgot to click off of it for it to start automatically. I'm gonna open up. Actually, where'd it go? I've got so much crap open over here that it's gonna be hard to keep control of all of it. I lost my uh oh, there it is. Man, where'd it go? I'm gonna have to make another one. Give me a second here, guys. I gotta make another window catch because I lost it. Look at all this shit up here that I'm gonna go over. And a lot of this stuff is gonna be verification for things that are brought up in the space. And it's gonna be kind of a mess at first, but I'll be deleting them as we go. But trust me, this space is interesting. And then that will lead that into going over and checking out the average Chris's account. I've never personally had an issue with the average Chris. I actually was cool with them until he started going at one of my buddies' names, Satanic, and after that, it was all that fabricated satanic bullshit that the Tupa crew was trying to push. They were trying to cancel a lot of members of the community, and it was based on bullshit. Um, Man, this is giving me problems. It's trying to pull up the wrong. It's trying to pull up the wrong window. There it is. Alrighty, y'all. We'll go ahead and go over a few things on Twitter that I found interesting today. Something that I haven't talked about recently is what's up, Broken Hip? Is the conflict in Ukraine. It's kind of getting neglected because of the war in Venezuela, and rightfully so. Um, our media is definitely going to be dominated more by a conflict that we're immediately involved in. But I had a couple videos of that that I wanted to show. There's been a lot of talk about these the development of the drones, specifically over in Ukraine, and uh, I've heard people debating on they are if they have like ground drones loaded with machine guns yet that are actually doing damage in Ukraine, and I got a video here that is proof of that if I can find it. I don't know. I'm having a hard time finding stuff now. Bookmarks. That's the Crusoe one. I went through and deleted a lot of these, and now they're back up. Look at this meme from King Milk Farper. What's up, Rotary? Oh shit. Okay, we'll go ahead and play Mick
are.
Foley here.
It's okay to say that you like something. It's okay to admit you were for something and no longer are. It's okay to say that you like something in principle, but not in its execution. And then it went on to say the best time to speak up would have been earlier. The second best time to speak up is now.
Oh,
Because years from
Mickey.
now, when there is nothing to lose, we will all have been against this. But the time to speak up and state your case is now. Many people might not believe this, but I firmly believe the United States of America is better than this. America is better than zip tying senior citizens. America is better than chasing down agricultural workers or abducting day laborers at Home Depot. America is better than using children for bait.
Agents made Liam knock on the door, asking to let them in order to see if anyone else was home.
We are better than this. We are better than inflicting terror on a wide swath of this public based only on the language they speak and the color of their skin. And I think that many of you believe we're better than this too. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll be devastated because I will have completely lost faith in the United States of America and its people. But you can make a difference by just speaking truth to power.
All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper.
Donald Trump reads the polls. 35% is bad. It's not as bad as the 10% that I think is more accurate. Please make a difference by using your voice. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.
Mick Foley is the only member of the wrestling world that has actually put it to action. He pulled out from working under his Legends contract with the WWE, and he said it was until they separated their ties with the Donald Trump regime. I came across this photo. I don't know if this is real or not, but good God, look at these demon spawn monsters. I imagine that's modified, but sometimes they aren't, and it's just some women at these Mar-a-Lago parties. Dude, they're having these parties, these lavish parties every night with these Frankenstein faces, and it's like soldiers are dying like every day. While they're doing that at their Mar-a-Lago lavish parties, this is happening.
The consequences of this war are real. Why are our sons and daughters coming home in caskets for Israel? I witnessed this coming home to the Bay Area yesterday, and it was so heartbreaking.
I think that might have been
Why?
the airmen.
It's okay to
It
admit.
looks like the family of the airmen. Okay, this is another thing in the news you might have heard lately. I wanted to mention. Uh, the government bought the domain name aliens.gov, and all the ufology nutties are going crazy about it, like, oh, it's coming, he's about to talk about aliens. What I think this is I'm confident that it's them prepping, cataloging illegal aliens. There have been several stories leaking about them building new camps, new holding facilities for illegal immigrants. And what it seems to be looming is what they would call a mass deportation event. And I think that domain, aliens.gov, it's a catalog process for illegal aliens. But I guess they asked somebody and they said, no, it's aliens. And, because of course they'd want them to think it was aliens, right? But I'm convinced until I see otherwise. They're prepping for this mass deportation event, and that's part of it. It's part of the logistical process, these government websites. I don't know if they're planning to do some kind of catalog, website where you can report illegal aliens or what, but I think that's what it is. But you go talk to the UFO crazies, and they're convinced that's the beginning of disclosure. These meteors continue to, fireballs, whatever you want to call them, continue to get spotted throughout the country. I want to try to get through this. Look what Donald Trump is all pissed off that the European countries don't want to get involved in his illegal war with Iran. So he posted this late the other night. I wonder what would happen if we finished off what's left of the Iranian terror state and let the countries that use it, we don't, be responsible for the so-called strait. He spelled straight wrong when he originally posted this. He spelled it with GH. Midas Touch grabbed it, and then his idiot staff let him know, and he changed it. Um, that would get some of our non-responsive allies in gear, and fast. President DJT. This allies that he's talking about in parentheses, you're talking about these European countries that he just cranked all these tariffs on. Norway, that he was threatening to invade Greenland. Canada, Ukraine, who he's been ripping aid from, and who's threatening to be invaded by Russia as we speak. Now he's like raging that they're not helping hold this straight. And they're not going to. They don't want to help us. Everyone wants to see us lose, honestly. But yeah, he's all ragey because the European countries aren't helping with his illegal bullshit war. Complete bullshit. This is John Fetterman. We all stuck up for this douchebag when he was campaigning and the Trump regime was destroying him, saying that he was a slob and had no place in politics. And basically, he's the biggest traitor in the Democratic Party. He has cost us so many important votes, including one today. He was the deciding vote. This man is not a Democrat. He's a sleeper agent in the Democratic Party. They need to boot him out. Uh, Look at this. This is interesting. This is who runs Libs of TikTok. I don't know if you've ever seen the Libs of TikTok channel. It's one of the most vile Trump MAGA pushing bullshit channels you'll find. And look, this is her alleged. I don't know why I thought it was funny, but it's just a funny picture. Okay, here's the vote. John Fetterman votes yes on Mark Wayne Mullen nomination. Almost scary. Fetterman helps Mullen salvage an 8-7 vote of support from the Senate. So he's burning us on a ton of votes. This girl, yeah, that one's self-explanatory. Okay, I want to jump over on real quick over on YouTube. I know where those videos are that I wanted to show you guys now. Hit playlist pods. Alright.
He's got his back to her anyways. All right, he turns around. She just didn't.
That's gonna be for the finale. Alright. So I had a couple short Ukraine videos I just wanted to show you guys if I can navigate. And what I'm gonna show you is oh yeah, right here. Check this out.
And medical evacuations. On the battlefields of eastern Ukraine, Russian forces have a deadly new threat to contend with. The threat doesn't need food, water, or even oxygen, doesn't bleed when hit, doesn't sleep, and can't be
Fair use. I'm informing the public about the conflict in Ukraine.
intimidated or scared, and the threat grows in number every day. The threat is Ukraine's robot army, and it's hunting Russian soldiers relentlessly. As the fourth year of the war in Ukraine draws to a close, Ukraine's unmanned military systems are wreaking death and destruction on Russian forces from the air and the sea. But now, on the scorched battlefields of eastern Ukraine, unmanned ground vehicles, or UGVs, are becoming increasingly prominent and
Look at that thing. UGVs. I've been watching the development of these things for the past year or two, and they started out, they were calling them mini tanks, and they were mainly using them to get to extract wounded. They were basically just like tracked wagons, and they would send them in with tons of ammo and supplies and then bring wounded out on them. They would just load them on, and nobody drives it. It's wire guided. You program the mission and it just goes.
influential component of Ukraine's military operations. So here's how Ukraine is integrating UGVs into its military and why it's making a decisive difference in Ukraine and likely far beyond. Military commanders have long salvated
I saw the Trump has been meeting with the Japanese Prime Minister, and yeah, it is a bummer that they do seem to be pretty friendly, don't they?
over the prospect of
Kinda
having an
sucks.
unmanned army at their disposal. The benefits speak for themselves. Unmanned systems are an ideal solution whenever particular operations make it too inconvenient, dangerous, expensive, or impossible to use human operators. Tasks like delivery of ammunition and supplies to frontline positions under heavy fire, evacuation of the dead and wounded, reconnaissance, and mine laying have always been extremely dangerous for humans. And that's especially true on the battlefields of eastern Ukraine, where ubiquitous kamikaze drones flying overhead make any movement at all a potentially life-threatening action. For Ukraine, UGVs also present a feasible and affordable way of plugging the gaps on the front lines caused by a serious shortage of manpower. As a recent New York Times article's headline starkly summed up, Ukraine can't defend the entire front. Russia is finding the gaps. UGVs offer Ukraine a
That's really important to fill the gaps in the line. And I believe they show a few videos, and they have footage of these things engaging Russian soldiers. Which, dude, yeah, I mean, you wouldn't even want to fire back. Like, what do you aim at? It's metal. Like, it would be so awful to encounter.
unique way of filling the holes and giving the Russian
Look at
army
that thing.
a new bunch of headaches to boot. Alongside prodigious use of UAVs, unmanned aerial vehicles, and UUVs, unmanned underwater vehicles, both Russia and Ukraine have been experimenting with UGVs since the early stages of the war. But in Ukraine, their use really picked up after the establishment of the Unmanned Systems Forces, or USF, in February 2024. The USF is the world's first dedicated
that.
military branch.
Look at this, the Unmanned Systems Forces. It's the first ever dedicated branch to drones. Kind of like, you know, the Navy, the Air Force. It's the world's first ever branch of the military that's all they do is unmanned systems. The USF. You're going to see other countries all around the world immediately start doing this. They're all going to start their own unit. And dude, he talks about it, how many casualties they're responsible for. It's the bulk of the Russian casualties.
Focus exclusively on unmanned systems across air, land, and sea domains. According to their website, during January 2026 alone, the USF was responsible for hitting 27,762 targets, destroying 10,216 of them.
Look at that, 27,000 targets. That's probably attack drones.
Killing 4,885 Russian troops and wounding another 4,496. The majority of this destruction was inflicted by UAVs, but UGVs are steadily taking a growing share as the quantity and diversity of their use expands. Initially,
well, bro, the Ukrainians are the best in the planet at it right now. They're at the cutting edge, and Trump is a complete dick to Zelensky. We need to be helping them and learning from them. they're at the cutting edge, and for whatever reason, Trump seems to ally with the Russians in this conflict. Even though the Russians are feeding the Iranians intel to hit our forces.
Ukraine primarily used UGVs for logistics and medical evacuations, accumulating some 15,000.
That's what they were called, the mini tanks. The Russians called them mini tanks when they engaged them, and they mainly used it for transportation. But it's still amazing.
UGV systems of various types by the end of 2025. These systems are now handling an increasing percentage of Ukraine's frontline logistics requirements. According to Yuri Poritsky, CEO of DevDroid, a Ukrainian company that develops UGVs and combat modules, much like with kamikaze drones, initial skepticism towards UGVs has given way to calls of "I want that too." Early on, UGVs were the butt of jokes among Ukrainian soldiers. As the robots moved so slowly, they were passed by pickup trucks again and again. But that was before Russia's elite drone division, Rubicon, entered the fray, in particular targeting the fleet of pickup trucks Ukraine commonly uses to deliver supplies to the front. As the slow-moving UGVs trundled past the shells of burnt-out pickups on their way to successfully deliver supplies, attitudes changed. And now, as Poritsky,
they run up through the weeds, like right down through the trench line. They cover them in like netting, camouflage netting. They're really hard to see. They're real low to the ground.
he puts it, everyone wants a UGV. No one wants to carry ammunition in a pickup that could be the next target for FPV drones. Today, Ukraine has a variety of logistics-focused UGVs in service. The Termit, for example, is a tracked UGV with a low-profile design for off-road mobility. It can carry loads of up to 440 pounds.
I wonder if that's supposed to be a termite, or if it is Termit. Like, what the hell is a Termit?
Has a range of 12 hours or 50 miles and is resistant to jamming, a critical factor on the electronic warfare-soaked front lines. The Muraka is another of Ukraine's leading tracked UGVs for load capacity and battlefield resilience. It can reportedly carry more than 1,100 pounds of payload for dozens of miles, particularly in mined and artillery-heavy zones, and also features multi-channel communication to resist jamming. Even larger and more robust is the Protector. Designed as a frontline logistical workhorse, it can carry up to 2,650 pounds of heavy logistics like ammunition, mortar systems, and construction materials. With a diesel-powered engine and wheeled 4x4 chassis, it can ford water up to 3.3 feet deep and move it up to 40 miles per hour. As we'll discover a bit later, it can also pack serious firepower. Now, deep dives into innovative military technology like Ukraine's UGVs are exactly what we do best here on the Military Show. If you want to stay on the pulse of what's happening and why in military affairs, click that subscribe button. You'll be very glad you did. And
that one that it just showed had a anti-tank missile like loaded up on it. That's the Military Show. Check out that channel. It's really cool. There was another one. There's one more video I wanted to show you about the conflict, and if I can find it. Okay, here it is. Check this shit out.
This criminal war has finally turned
Russia's got a problem.
them into monsters.
Mercenaries return from the war and commit crimes at home.
Deaths of Russian citizens at the hands of so-called heroes have become routine.
According to investigators, a resident of the village of Rahinka killed and ate his companion.
And the head of the Russian Federation not only pardons murderers and rapists, he honors them.
These are exactly the people who should form the future elite of our country.
The so-called heroes of the special military...
What's happening in Russia, apparently, is the ones that are lucky enough to survive the front, the meat grinder that is the war in Ukraine, they're coming back to their hometowns in Russia, and they don't give a fuck about nothing, and they're committing horrendous crimes. It's created a violent crime wave across Russia, and it's war veterans. They talk about them being entitled. They don't even seem to care, like, if the police try to apprehend them, because they're war heroes, and Putin feeds it.
Operation are coming back, bringing with them a wave of violence that threatens to engulf Russia itself. War criminals glorified by propaganda quickly reappear in crime reports. They survive the front by chance, only to bring death to peaceful cities back home, carrying illegal weapons, an insatiable thirst for blood, a sense of superiority, and complete impunity. Why are more and more Russians being killed by those? Television calls liberators. And how does Putin's regime encourage this? Watch in our special report.
She's beautiful,
Back
right?
from war, back to violence. How Putin's heroes terrorize Russia.
It's kind of interesting.
Hundreds of thousands of Russians went off to kill on Putin's orders. Some were poisoned by propaganda. Some were driven into the trenches by poverty. Some were forced, and others were lured by deception.
Alright, I want to save enough time to get over and start playing that space here. That was going to be my main part of the episode today. So, I want to shout out my buddy who recorded this. I'm going to go and set it up. Oh, there was one more thing I want to talk about. That way I can clear a little bit of this out. A space earlier, a couple hours ago, it might actually still be going, was going on. It was a Doomer Daddy space. It was a guy named, let's see, Tim Lalka. Tim Lalka, Lalka. He did an interview with Coltar on News Nation apparently a couple weeks ago. Doomer Daddy had him in for a few hours if you want to go over and check that space out. But this guy is, I don't know what you all know about the GATE program, Gifted and Talented program. Reason I'm a little interested in it is because my older brother was part of it. It was kind of the nerds of, like, our class, and they created a special class for them in elementary school. Where I lived, it was 2nd through 6th grade. And a common theme on ufology these days is that the GATE program, the GT program, was basically running experimentation and doing, all kinds of nefarious things on these kids and studies. They were talking about how they all remember drinking a pink fluid, and nobody knows what the fluid was. Um, but this guy talks about a lot of, like, horrific things happening to him while he was in the GATE program. I tested for the GATE program, but my brother was in it for all the way through elementary school, and he had just joined it when I tested for it. And my mom thought it was a little odd. And I was a popular kid, I was an athlete. She kind of pulled me aside and was like, "I don't think you want to be in that class. Like, you're going to be away from all your friends." But I went to a school that was the only school in our county that housed the GATE program. We called it the GT program, the Gifted and Talented program. But it's becoming very common in ufology to hear about the GATE program, and yeah, it was a space, and I don't know what I believe when I hear this stuff. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary with the GATE program. It was for the kids that they were too advanced intellectually, for the class that they were supposed to be in, that they would get bored. So you had to separate them to challenge them intellectually. And Rotary, yeah. One of the things I recall most about it was the they had a hyper focus on educating the kids about financial responsibility, economics. They had their own little miniature economy, and they started little like businesses where they were encouraged to learn how to be entrepreneurs, and that seemed to be a lot of the focus was to get them a little bit ahead when it comes to being economic um, entrepreneurs. And as far as I know, our GATE program was a reaction to China and Russia having similar programs where they were trying to create the next generation of citizens and give them a boost, and we were behind. So we created the GATE program in response. But I never saw anything strange during the GATE program, and I was around it. But like always say, my experience might be different than someone else's, but that was the space. It's a recorded space, um, and I might do if I have an episode tomorrow, I might go over a little bit of it. We'll see what's going on with it, cause it was recorded. So, all right, let's get this crazy fucking space going, dude. I'm thinking you guys are gonna like this. So I I got home late and I jumped up here and I didn't know what I was walking into, honestly. Um, but it was Panda was in there, and it was hosted by one of my friends. Interstellar and Jay just was co-hosting, so I jumped up there, and yeah, it was I got in the middle of it, and yeah, it was an interesting space, and we're gonna start playing it, and I'm gonna stop it, and I got a bunch of screenshots here too. Um, you gonna you gonna go hit a gap? All right, let's get it.
It's childish almost.
Is
What
there
did they
is there
call you?
anybody on the wait? Is there anybody on the panel who have not got anybody else blocked so they can co-host?
So, when I had joined this space, the topic of the space was, is the average Chris being paid to basically give whistleblowers shit and try to encourage them not to go forward with their, you know, alien stories?
I have half the panel block. Can't I? Can't.
I don't have
Yeah.
anybody blocked. I can co-host.
I don't believe you, Carlos.
Carlos.
Maybe Misanthrope. Probably Misanthrope.
When they needed a co-host, and when you make someone co-host, the proper thing to do is to ask, do you have anyone blocked? Because it immediately boots or cuts off the sound to anyone you have blocked. And Carlos was like, he said he didn't have anyone blocked. That way, it would boot Panda.
I think she's fine. But oh great, now Tupa's here too. Get ready,
I don't have
folks.
anyone blocked, but I don't want to co-host. I got to leave in a minute. But I hear that
That's me.
word attacked a lot, and I don't know, man. Like,
This is an interesting situation because I do kind of align with Red Panda Koala in this case, where they're saying that the average Chris runs around attacking people. They kept using the word attacking, and Panda's only defense was, "Do you guys have any proof of this? Do you have any screenshots?" And I'm gonna go through his account here in a minute, and we're gonna find out. But I also think that word is misused, and just telling someone you don't believe their silly alien stories gets chalked up as being attacked around here.
I know what you mean when people like jump up and start talking shit, but I see people also calling just getting contradicted in spaces and pushed back a little bit be called attacked. So
I
these
actually do
words get
agree with
thrown
TJ
around.
here. I think, and even with the Matthew Brown,
Panda, I don't want you to agree with me, you wanker.
thing, to bring it back fully, like I want to see evidence
No.
of the claims. You know what I mean?
We're not
Now,
talking
people
about.
do give Jay
Anyways, I
Just
don't
a
care.
hard time. Like, I get it. People give Jay Just a hard time. Like,
I
I've
feel like we're being
seen.
asked to emotionally
I've seen
invest
it.
into Matthew Brown's claims without being presented evidence. For example, like the Chris thing. None of you guys could explain to me why Chris was paid by the DoD or any examples of how he's harassing whistleblowers. But I'm expected to buy into this notion and like almost like dislike him because of it.
You don't have to. No one was asking you to dislike him. What? Dude, he talks so fucking fast.
Well, every whistleblower gets the same treatment. We get a
And
room.
and that's what you do with Lou Elizondo all the fucking time. What
I
is your
provide
fucking
evidence.
I feel it, dude. People cut Jay Just off a lot, and she was making a point there.
logic? It applies only to like your guy, but not to others,
I
right?
provide specific evidence
Fucking
of things
hypocrite.
Lou's done, and
I was
you
going to
know.
derail
No,
this.
they're not specific
Let's
evidence.
just stop
No.
derailing. Stop derailing this.
Okay, here comes Tupa to try to trigger Carlos. Um, and it's interesting when one of these gatekeeper I like Jay Just. Um, when one of these gatekeepers is challenged in any way, like on a public platform, dude, they huddle together and defend each other. And it's kind of like all for one for all. We're the UFO Twitter gatekeepers. Vetted put out a post earlier, talking about this space, even though he didn't have the nuts to come up and talk about it. There's Panda. All right, let's keep going.
Oh,
Making
shut
about
up,
your own
Tupa.
personal stuff, dude.
Do we have to let him up?
We've got
Jay just didn't want to let him up. She said, "Do we have to let him up?" Uh, I got this recording from a friend, and it's interesting how it's kind of jumbling the PFPs around, because this space was hosted by Interstellar, and it was co-hosted by Jay Just. I think it's moving people around based on who's talking.
LM's hand. Go ahead, LM.
Your
It'd be good
space.
to hear your voice. You haven't talked much.
So I just want to share with everybody,
Fuck
believe
off.
me or not. I had a dream 2 nights ago that Thomas and I were going to be in a space together, and his ultimate question is why did you tell the lie about Lou Elizondo?
So you got Tubacabra, me, Carlos, Thomas Fessler. Moneypenny comes in later and plays a big role. It's such a hilarious mix.
What was that? How did that come to be? And that happened 2 nights ago that I had this dream. And then all of a sudden now, here's Thomas in this space, and it is precognitive, and that is the question that he wants answered. It is.
Oh, not at all.
Well, maybe you should answer it then. We all want to know, why did you lie?
Great.
Was
Now
it to
LM is
please
Miss
a red
Cleo.
panda
Great.
koala?
LM was encouraged by Red Panda Koala to tell lies about Sawan. That's the story on that.
Just
I'm just letting
LM
you guys
is
know
Miss
that
Cleo
there's a
now.
lot of
Miss Cleo
complexity.
LM.
Derailing again.
That was pretty funny, Carlos.
Well, I would say actually it is actually very relevant because I think LM did it for the same reason that a lot of people who hate on whistleblowers do it.
Okay, and I've been mentioning how I've got a friend that's been sick, and his voice was a little weird, and that prick Butt Beacon made a bunch of rude comments about it. So finally, you get to hear my friend Gabe's voice. Actually, it sounds better in this than it did in the spaces prior. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Everyone wants to hear this space back because it wasn't recorded.
Which is attention, because they know that it's going to garner some type of
Lou
attention,
Elizondo's not a
either
whistleblower, Gabe.
positive or negative. Look at Tupa, for example, right?
Look
how
at
many
me.
eyes.
Tupa's not. Lou's not really a whistleblower
Look
because
how
everything he says is true.
Let him finish, Tupa.
We don't
Look
interrupt
how
you.
popular he
Me and Carlos telling Tupa not to interrupt.
got when he attacked Lou Elizondo.
Had nothing to do with it. You're wrong, Gabe. On that one, you're wrong.
No, he's absolutely right. LM became
TeeJay, you don't know what you're talking about. You're on methadone half the time anyway, bro.
Wow.
You guys,
Did you catch that one? He was saving it. He only made it like a minute into this. He only made it like a minute in. Dude, you gotta save that one for something later.
Space, and it is precognitive, and that is the question that he wants answered. It is.
Oh, not at all.
Well, maybe you should answer it then. We all want to know, why did you lie?
Great.
Was
Now
it
LM is
please
Miss
a red
Cleo.
panda
Great.
koala?
I'm
This
just
is
letting
just
you know.
great.
I'm just letting
LM
you guys
is
know
Miss
that there's
Cleo
a
now.
lot of
Miss Cleo
complexity.
LM.
Derailing again.
That was pretty funny, Carlos.
Well, I would say actually it is actually very relevant because I think LM did it for the same reason that a lot of people who hate on whistleblowers do it, which is attention, because they know that it's going to garner some type of
Lou
attention,
Elizondo's not a
either
whistleblower, Gabe.
positive or negative. Look at Tupa, for example, right?
Look
how
at
many
me.
eyes.
Tupa's not. Lou's not really a whistleblower
Look
because
how.
everything he says is.
Nah, bro, it's gonna be alright, Panda. Cambion will help me get demonetized like he did Alien Girl and everybody else, bro. Carlos does get worked up, doesn't he? I bet Carlos is in the chat somewhere. I think he's been feuding with these guys for so long, man. You'd lose patience.
Let him finish, Tupa.
Don't
Look
interrupt.
how popular he got when he attacked Lou Elizondo.
Had nothing to do with it. You're wrong, Gabe. On that one, you're wrong.
No, he's absolutely.
Well, tell us, Tupa. Fill us in. What did it have to do with?
Right. LM became
TJ, you don't know what you're talking
Here it
about.
is.
You're on methadone half the time anyway, bro.
Guys,
You're not a
you
believer.
guys
Wow.
Half the time, bro. I'm on methadone all of the time.
You
No,
guys
All
no,
right,
no.
that's
Tupa.
interstellar.
That's not allowed, bro.
Carlos, at that point, when he said Interstellar, he was asking Interstellar to boot him for that low blow, and I DM'd Interstellar and was like, "Don't boot anybody. I don't care." it gives me funny shit to put on my video. Also, it alienates people when you do that. If you think I'm the only person in this community that's dealing with substance abuse addiction, problems, you're out of touch. There's a lot of them out there, and everyone has their problems, especially with substance around here. I mean, Full Stack Logan went to a party, a gathering of UFO Twitter wankers, and he was so fucked up they made him leave. But nobody, nobody seems to care about that. Oh, is riding the bus wrong too? I care about the environment. It's about my carbon footprint.
I don't give a shit. That's the facts. I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
give a
trust
shit.
somebody
I'll be
who,
pushing
who,
gas.
who doesn't. Why would you
all
trust
around
somebody who doesn't remember what they say and doesn't stand by what they say? I would never.
Dude, I probably stand by what I say more than anybody else on the community, to a stubborn fault, even when I should probably double back and walk it. Just makes the Steve.
Do that. That's a foolish
I
move.
would never trust
First
a
of all,
person
Gabe,
who can't pay their baby
this is
mama.
my account, and I know exactly what grew my account. It had nothing to do with Lou Elizondo. In fact,
you
You're a
rode the
goddamn
MAGA wave and
demagogue,
made
is what
lies
you are,
about Lou
Tupa.
now
Elizondo.
you're going to cut me off because you found out that Gabe's wrong. Your facts
He
are
was
wrong.
absolutely
Stay on
right.
target.
When LM
Stay on
told that
topic.
lie, he
You don't
became
know what you're talking,
hugely
TJ. You don't
popular
know.
through you guys.
Again, you're not going to sit here and tell a story you don't even remember, bro. No one's going to listen.
That's what LM's known for in the community, is that scenario with Sawan. If you ask anybody, like, who's LM and UFO Twitter, they'll be like, oh, isn't he the guy that lied about Sawan and, for the Tupa crew? Because he walked it back, and they had to change the story. That's what he's known as. That's what got him on the spotlight in the Tupa crew spaces for a little while. And people are willing to tell lies to get that spotlight for a little bit.
So that
That's-
didn't
that has
happen.
nothing to do
LM
with it.
didn't become a name because of that lie. He didn't become popular.
LM
on
was a
that.
thing before
You're
that.
moving.
Wasn't
You're
about
moving the
popularity.
target. LM was
Wasn't
on
about
Thomas's show.
LM got
before-
targeted because of that. I think it was a net negative for LM's personal life.
Yeah, it was negative. Yeah, and it wasn't about popularity, and I was
Well, maybe you
definitely not
shouldn't
trying
have
to make
lied
anything
then.
out of it.
Yeah,
You're
lying
the
is
last person who's
lying
talking
is
about
usually a negative,
TJ,
bro.
you're the last person who
So
needs to be
here we
sitting
go.
here preaching
This is
about
the
lying
point.
to people.
So
Bro.
LM,
When I was talking
Well, yeah, you could give some examples, but okay.
about,
fellas,
I
fucked
had
up.
a
fellas, why did you
dream
lie?
about this 2 nights ago, and now here we are. We're right.
Manifested it.
Why did you lie, LM?
Gabe. Gabe's voice sounds hilarious when he's grilling somebody like that.
Yeah, what's the answer? Fill us in.
LM, the floor's yours. No one's going to interrupt.
LM, why did you not lie?
I was overly frustrated.
Wait a minute. They're saying he didn't lie now? This is the problem, bro. They changed their story. He's already said he lied, right? He apologized to everybody. He's
frustrated. I was overly frustrated.
Listen, he says it
with
right here.
My disclosure and the behind the scenes communications that were happening, and I got out over my skis, and I thought in that moment that there was a trackable, traceable understanding between Mike Disclosure and Lou Elizondo, and in my heart, I believed that both were aware of what I was talking about. Therefore, I unioned them into a singular understanding. And I was wrong.
Union them. What
And I
the
was wrong. And I was hold on. I was wrong to do that. And I apologized for that. And I admitted that I lied.
Oh, he admitted he lied. Well, why did you just say he didn't lie, Panda? Are you trying to change his story for him? Because it seems like you kind of manipulate and weaponize this guy. Just like you do UAP Psych Ward Mike. Just like you do the Murder She Wrote bitches that we're going to play with Somber here in a little bit.
And I recanted it. But
you can't put words in people's mouths, Panda. You gotta let them talk for themselves. He says it right there. He was lying.
Doesn't change the focus of what I.
Do I need to rewind it? I'll rewind it a little bit.
Got out over my skis, and I thought in that moment that there was a trackable, traceable understanding between Mike Disclosure and Lou Elizondo. And in my heart, I believed that both were aware of what I was talking about. Therefore, I unioned them into a singular understanding. And I was wrong.
them. What
and I was wrong.
fuck?
And I was hold on. I was wrong to do that. And I apologized for that. And I admitted that I lied, and I recanted it.
I admitted I lied and I recanted it. That's what I remember. This didn't involve me, so I'm learning as I go. But I remember him admitting to the community that he lied.
But it doesn't change the focus of what I was talking about, which is the person that was accusing doxing, the person that I thought was doxing, actually turned around and doxed somebody.
And also, LM, to be clear, because they're
all right. This is where it gets kind of dicey, and I'm gonna have to pull up some of these graphics.
going to take that and run with it. You lied about everything. You lied about Lou Elizondo ordering you to look into Grush's medical records, but you're telling the truth when you're saying that Mike Disclosure wanted Sawan to put out that stuff about David Grush, right?
That's
before the article. Yeah.
Oh, that's a fucking
I don't care about that.
lie.
No, it's not. No, it is not.
Lie. Yep, I was there in that call when everything went on. You are lying.
No, you were not on the call when Mike asked me to look into it and told me that the reason why Sawan was the patsy is because nobody would believe it, and that was the way to go. You were not on that call, Thomas.
Oh, shit.
You are not the keeper. You are not the keeper of Mike Disclosure and all the things that he's been talking about to other people.
Didn't Mike Disclosure surprise you, Thomas, like recently on your own show?
Oh yeah.
You know, my question is, this Tupa and these guys, they love attacking credibility, and all of a sudden, because of this, your word is crap forever. Once LM tells an emotional lie like that, for whatever reason, why would you take anything else he says credible after that? Like Tupa be like, well, didn't this happen? Who gives a fuck what he says? The guy just admitted he lies.
But
Sounds
that's
like
not
he's full
the
of
topic
surprises.
right now.
Sounds like he's full of
Yeah.
surprises, Thomas.
Yeah,
Isn't
but
it amazing that we
LM is full,
resort back to
LM is full of
drama
lies,
when this
man.
is
All
not
he
the
has to do
topic?
is open his mouth and say that's a fact. You know what I'm talking about, Tupa.
No, that's not
Oh
true.
yeah, there we
Thomas.
go.
That's
You
not
can
true.
also tell he's about 3.5 drinks in. How many
No,
more
that's
does
not
he need
true,
before
Thomas.
he
Justy, how is it not
goes
drama to
bad?
say average Chris works for the DOD?
I don't think LM sounds intoxicated. I think he sounds a little flustered.
To harass Lou Elizondo, though. It's all like about UFOX manipulation.
Yeah. But I really do feel sorry for LM, and I really
Oh,
hope he
thank
gets
you,
some help.
Thomas. I appreciate
Hey,
it.
so can we
Thank
get
you.
back to
about
talking
you,
about
Thank you for
UFOs?
thank you
I
for
do
the
care about you.
concern.
Yeah,
I
can we
appreciate
stop
it.
talking about personal
I think I try to get about UFOs.
like problems? You guys can open the
Yeah,
space that
I know. Let's leave it alone, please. Let's get back to the topic.
Dude, J Just is such a badass there. Oh, dude. Everybody on Adderall in the United States.
Average Chris is a piece of shit paid by the DOD.
Actually, Rotary, I'm glad you said that, because there was something I wanted to say. For Chupacabra to imply that, I'm whatever I say should be discounted, and then it's not credible because I'm on, a doctor prescribed medication. Where does Dr. Chupacabra draw the line? Like, so are all the girls that are on Vyvanse, are they discounted because they might get a little sleepy? What about all the dudes that hang out in their spaces on Ambien, like Fred Rogers, and talk about 16-year-old girls and stuff? Are they discounted? Like, where does Dr. Chupacabra draw the line? Because, I mean, you hear these guys, UAP Mike and all of them, talking about eating shrooms and stuff, and I just don't see where you can draw the line and say, well, you're on this prescription, so we need to reject your word, but my friends eat handfuls of shrooms on the reg, and they're totally credible, even though Psych Ward Mike just got out of the mental hospital. Like, it's hard to follow.
Panda, stop it.
That's what we were talking about before we got to that.
Well, I would say that
Yeah,
there's
but we can
definitely.
move on, can't we?
Okay, yeah, let's move on for sure.
We're talking about Matthew Brown, right? He made the allegation that there was a coordinated campaign online to smear whistleblowers. Now,
I get it.
I know that happens on Reddit. Everyone knows it happens on Reddit. But it also happens here. So, in every platform, it looks like there's certain individuals.
To be completely honest, I don't think the average Chris is being paid to go after whistleblowers. I think he's just a skeptic prick.
Individuals who make it their personal mission to smear whistleblowers. I don't know why
I actually say something to Gabe here in a second about it.
they would spend that much time doing that. But the only conclusion I could come to is either they're paranoid, schizophrenics, or they're being paid to do it, or they know it gives them clicks.
Gabe, I think if you would have saw how I welcomed Jason Sands into the community, you probably would have been calling me a Fed.
Great point, TJ.
I don't believe anything Jason Sands says, and a lot of these people, I don't believe anything they say. I've chilled out a little bit like as I've gotten, been in the community longer, but I used to give Jason Sands a hard time about his claims, and Gabe probably would have been saying that shit about me based on this.
I just want to bring up for a fact that my disclosure asked me to use my wife's database to look into Jason Sands.
Oh, so much for moving.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Stop it.
That's what we were talking about before we got to that.
Well, I would say that
Yeah,
there's
but we can
definitely.
move on, can't
Okay,
we?
yeah, let's move on for sure.
Pandy
We're
can
talking about
hang
Matthew
out.
Brown, right? He made the allegation that there is a coordinated campaign online to smear whistleblowers.
I
Now,
get it.
I know that happens on Reddit. Everyone knows it happens on Reddit. But it also happens here. So, in every platform, it looks like there's certain individuals
You
who
all need to chill the
make
fuck
it their
out in the
personal
chat.
mission to smear whistleblowers.
I'm gonna
I don't
have
know
to make
why
someone a mod.
they would spend that much time doing that. But the only conclusion I could come to is either they're paranoid, schizophrenics, or they're being paid to do it, or they know it gives them clicks.
Gabe, I think if you would have saw how I welcomed Jason Sands into the community, you probably would have been calling me a Fed.
Great point, TJ.
I just want to bring up for a fact that my disclosure asked me to use my wife's database to look into Jason Sense.
Panda, you DM'd him, didn't you? You DM'd. I can tell, dude. That shit was not natural. I could tell the pause in it. Panda's orchestrating a lot of this shit.
So much for moving on, fellas.
Well, and David Grush was not one of the people that he said was there's online campaigns against David Grush. We outlined the exact people who did it. Sawan's here. Half the fucking panel are some of that.
Look how Panda immediately fired off. He was waiting. Like he sent a DM and was like he sent himself his own softball. Like he set himself up through LM.
That network, but it's like we can't talk about that.
Yeah, and Hogg was involved as well. That was one of the 3 requests that my disclosure asked for an appropriate looking into behind the scenes to get information. That happened.
So what's something Chris has done that's anywhere close to that? You know.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say something here. Is it possible the Mike Disclosure gets involved in a lot of shady bullshit? Is that possible?
I don't know.
They're talking about a pattern of behavior, Panda. His regular theme of attacking these whistleblowers no matter what their story is. That's
But I'm
what
with you,
they're referring to.
attacking.
It's
Just
not
because they're
one
critical of their
specific-
claim.
Fessler is like, nope. A lot of these allegations seem to involve Mike Disclosure. At some point, it does become, the where there's smoke, there's fire thing. But yeah, like Panda said, you gotta have proof, right?
Incident. You're talking
And their
about
DD-214 doesn't mean that you're attacking. I never see him go below the belt, accuse them of rape, try and post shit about their families. I never see anything like that. It's just I don't believe
I
that
guess
this
you
person
could
killed a
say
crab monster. You know what I mean?
attacking
One of
their
the things,
credibility.
it's got to be that they just, if Chris doesn't believe them, then he's attacking them.
Yeah,
And
that's
if
what
he
it sounds
voices-
like.
And if he voices his doubt with any kind of research, it's viewed as a direct attack.
Exactly.
Which is
And that does happen. I've even talked about that in my videos. How it's the experiencer thing where they seem to be like caged in a cloak of protection, where any criticism towards them is deemed as an attack, harassment. I mean, that is true. That does happen.
It's
happened to
unfortunate
me.
because
And Mike was
it makes your
acting
guys' side
as,
of the
and
argument
Mike
seem
was
very
acting
weak.
as the
Hold on, LM.
investigative journalist for
LM,
disclosure.
hold up.
You're on some other shit. But,
is still
dude,
firing
if
off.
the topic is robust, right?
What
if
bullshit
it
are you
can
talking
stand on
about right
its
now,
own,
Tupa? I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
well, you shouldn't have to have people like Carlos and Sawan, right? And Gabe and KMF and TJ.
Me? What did I do?
This front.
What did I
You
do?
guys,
I don't.
you guys are part
What
of
did I
the-
do? What is it that you're talking about?
Oh, what did
We're
I
the
do? I'm
nasty
gonna
gang.
play dumb now.
Yeah, Tupa, you missed it. I actually asked the
Yeah,
whole
I mean,
panel for
you're
evidence of
talking
like.
nonsense right now. I don't know
No.
exactly
We're the nasty gang, in case you didn't catch that.
what you're talking
I asked the whole
about.
panel for
the
evidence
point
of what
I'm-
Chris has done, and no one could provide a single shred of
Because all
evidence
their
or a
I was
post
addressing
or
Tupa,
anything.
not you.
Well, we're gonna go look at his ex account. and we're gonna put it to rest.
The only thing that he's done is criticize.
I mean, I get that he's
so-called
your partner and
whistleblowers.
everything, but
That's
he can
it.
talk for himself.
Backpack
That's it,
lover.
dude. So tell me, what has he done other than criticize whistleblowers?
What was the question?
How is he attacking whistleblowers? What's the most egregious attack?
Well, no,
Who accused him of doing that?
he joins Spacers, right? And he pushes his narrative. And the narrative is always they're crazy. They don't know what they're talking about. They didn't have proper clearances.
Calling
all
someone
these things
calling someone crazy is I would consider that to be an attack.
Chris provides evidence.
Just recently, he attacked Merrick on
Okay,
that
what was the
UFO
attack?
video. On
What
that
was the
UFO.
attack?
Dude, I don't know why, but the the flow of this space cracked me up. Where it was like, oh, can you name any? And then they started like spitting out these real petty ass.
Well, let me finish.
Sorry,
On that UFO video about the thing doing instantaneous maneuver, the recent one that Corbell posted.
What was the attack? What did he say?
The attack was that Merrick doesn't know what the hell he's looking at.
That's not an attack,
That's not an attack, dude.
bro.
That is an attack. That is an attack.
That doesn't
Because
fit any
that Merrick
That is an attack on credibility.
No,
yeah,
it's not.
no, it is because
So
he
so
said
is any criticism.
Let me
of
finish.
anything
Let me finish.
So
let me
is
finish.
any
People, let the dog
criticism-
serve David Grush finish how
Let me
Chris is
finish.
attacking people.
Of course.
Okay, you just attacked me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you just attacked me.
What has he done other than criticize whistleblowers?
What was the question?
How is he attacking whistleblowers? What's the most egregious attack?
Well, no,
Who accused him of doing that?
he joins Spacers, right? And he pushes his narrative. And the narrative is always they're crazy. They don't know what they're talking about. They didn't have proper clearances. All
No,
these
typically
things
typically
that we would never
Chris
know.
provides evidence.
Just recently, he attacked Merrick on
Okay,
that
what was the
UFO
attack?
video. On
What
that
was the
UFO.
attack?
Well, let me finish. On that UFO video about the thing doing instantaneous maneuver, the recent one that Corbell posted.
What was the attack? What did he say?
The attack was that Merrick doesn't know what the hell he's looking at.
That's not an attack, bro.
That is an attack. That is an attack.
That doesn't
Because
fit any
that
That is
Merrick.
an attack on credibility.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
no, it is because
then
he
so
said
is any criticism.
Let me
of
finish.
anything
Let
ever.
me finish.
So
let me
is
finish.
any
People, let the dog
criticism-
serve David Grush finish how
Let me
Chris
finish.
is attacking people.
Of course.
Okay, you just attacked me.
Oh, okay.
That's an attack.
It's not an attack. Dude.
Even
It was an
Carlos,
attack, but anyway.
Even Carlos started laughing when someone went, "Okay, now you just attacked me."
Someone comes out and makes claims, it's worth it for people to question.
Okay,
You
but
really
then
like to attack people, don't you,
Merrick pushed back, right? And then all he said is, "You don't know what you're talking about. I work in the DoD, so I would know."
Is that an attack,
So they have
though?
That is
they
an
have a back
attack.
and forth. No, it's just a criticism with the
No,
substance.
it's an attack.
No, it's not an attack.
It is. And then
No,
he
you're-
went. There's
I
more he
think you
said,
view
but I'm
that-
not about to
you're-
post out the receipts.
Yeah, post the
Didn't he
receipts.
attack David
so
Grush
is it
too when David
possible-
Grush came out?
Is it
He
possible
attacked
that you guys
Grush. I know
use-
that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he attacked
It's
Grush. He
clearly
attacked
not an
Dylan
attack.
Borland.
It's not an attack, dude.
Like you said, Merrick, we're gonna flush out this
your
cockroach.
definition-
That'd be an attack. Then I'd
That's
be like,
like-
wow.
Calling people crazy would be.
Panda, you read my mind.
There he is.
Right, right, Thomas? You got it. This is funny coming from fucking Sawan,
Oh
right?
God, yeah.
Jesus,
exactly.
Thomas, you do remember me and Rob helped David Grush out, right?
Yep.
Yeah, of course I remember that. Yes, I
Yeah.
was just saying, but an example of an attack would be calling someone a cockroach, disagreeing with
I'm
them and
sure.
saying
I'm
why
sure.
they don't agree.
I'm not going to
That's
find the
okay.
receipts because I don't collect receipts.
Mhm.
But I'm sure
you're fine.
Aerospace Chris did say that David Grush is a psychopath or something like that. Around those lines when he came out.
Still, that's kind of like a harsh criticism.
No,
Someone
well,
comes
that
out
is
and-
an attack.
That's kind of like a harsh criticism.
That would maybe be an attack, sure, but I don't see him doing that on the regular.
No, I don't.
Oh, now we're pushing the goalposts.
Money
Right
did
now, it's not on the regular.
Money did
keep in
defend
mind
the
is
tank
that
was
these
definitely an attack. He was attacking
these are
the Titanic.
claims.
That's
Hold
not.
on.
No
Can
one's
can
no
can
one's
we
showed
can
up
we
with a
establish
UFO.
one truth? One truth.
Coming
We're
from
trying to
you?
do that, Ellen.
One truth. Can we establish one truth?
Coming
You had a
from
dream
you.
about
Salon,
this.
were you asked to look into David Grush by Mike Disclosure? One truth.
Why
Answer them,
are
Sawan.
we
Yes
talking
or
about
no?
Sawant?
Really, LM, you really have to ask this?
Yes, I'm going to ask it. One truth, because we're going to err on the side of truth no matter what, and we'll work through it. But yes, one truth.
Oh, I was. Oh, you're talking to Sawan? My bad.
No one caught that.
Yep.
And you're talking to me.
Yep.
I was like, yeah, he asked me to do that. Wait, oh, you were asking Sawan.
One truth. We can work through it after it, but if we don't acknowledge
Mike Disclosure asked a bunch of people, including me, to look into David Grush. Is Air Force history of how he would be involved as a whistleblower with what information he's going to bring forward has
Right.
nothing to do with his medical records.
And
So basically
exactly,
research.
nothing to do with
Basically
medical
research.
Yeah, that's how I took it. Sawan was involved in Disclosure Tonight at the time, and dude, he's a wealth of information when it comes to the topic. So, it wouldn't be out of the norm to imagine, Fessler or Mike being like, "Hey, look in, what do you know about this guy? Find out."
Check into
How
who
does
the
that
guy
translate
is.
to we're
Right?
going to flush out this cockroach, though?
Swan was upset.
Yeah, I was upset.
He wanted the information and he wanted it now. And if he wasn't going to get it, no matter how close he was to finding out what was really going on, he was going to go on a tirade. And man, I tried to
Yeah,
stop
but
you, Swan.
this is in fifth grade. The excuse of Sawan was upset it's not an excuse, right?
But
Sawan
some
was
people
upset.
have.
This is coming
Some
from
people
you, who
behave.
constantly attacks Lou Elizondo.
Let me ask
You
another
know,
question to
no.
someone.
What I'm not sure, and I'm hoping it's on this one, is if Moneypenny coming up is recorded. It might have came before this, but I'm not sure. But that was an important part. When Moneypenny jumps up, it explains how Red Panda Koala and the average Chris were, what'd she say, 50% of the reason she left the community. And I found a post. Yeah, it was earlier. I had it on another recording.
No, this
Salon,
isn't about, an age.
were
Some
you-
people have behaviors and how they react to stuff, whether it's positive
Yeah.
or negative.
Yeah.
It's part of the person's behavior and how they are.
Sure.
And if that's how
Yeah,
Swan
I'm a
was dealing
hothead.
with that
I'm a hothead.
situation,
Yep.
you're not
I'm
proud of
I'm
it,
a hothead.
but that's where
Salon,
you
were
went.
you-
right?
I can vouch for that.
Hold on. So we're going
Jay
to
Just.
build upon what was the truth, the one truth that we just understood. You coming back to Disclosure Tonight, was it contingent on you apologizing?
I have a clip that has the Moneypenny segment in it. I must have just put a later clip up. So maybe tomorrow on tomorrow's episode, I'll find the right one and we'll go over that part right there. We'll focus on the average Chris on this one, because here shortly I'm gonna jump over on X and I'm gonna go over his account if he doesn't lock it, because one of these guys DM him. And well, I'm gonna just be real about it. If he is a menace on UFO Twitter.
Yes, for me being a hothead.
Yep. So that's the second
It's
truth.
Not a hothead, right?
Well, that's what a hothead does.
It's also
But for you,
the term hothead is just so ridiculous that started getting like, what what is a hothead?
to come back
that's a
on,
dismissal.
but for you to come back to Thomas's YouTube channel, there was a series of things that you needed to say to get back in, right?
The only thing that Thomas
Second truth,
told me,
Swan. The only way
yeah,
through this is
I'm
the truth.
giving the truth. I'm giving the truth as I recount. It's been 3 years. Okay.
We've heard this story so many times.
From what I recount, Thomas told me I just have to behave myself and apologize for the remarks that I didn't.
Dude, it sounds like the exact same um situation the Mike Disclosure was in when he when he doxed Panda and his sister, right? He had to come back and apologize and promise to be good.
In the past.
And what did Mike ask of you?
I don't honestly remember.
Oh no, you
I'll be
do
honest with you,
remember.
LM. I
You
don't
do
remember.
Did he ask you to clear his
Can I be
name?
honest with you? You and Mike need to have fucking conversation because this whole what did he telephone? What did he tell you? What did he do? It's better if you two just fucking figure it out.
Nah, dude,
Oh,
air it
Mike
out.
can
Air
come
it
into
out
this conversation
publicly.
anytime he wants to. I'm
It's
asking
a big
Salon
deal.
directly.
I leave and I heard Mike did come in, right? Yeah, he comes in. Someone told me he jumps in.
I mean, that's an online
How were
campaign
you
against David
brought
Grush,
back
right? Like, it's what we're
into?
talking
Yes.
about.
It's a direct attack on a whistleblower.
I
Someone
had to
saying, "I'm
set up
sorry,
my show.
I'm a hothead and I
Do we
got
really need these two
emotional."
Do
people
you
in here?
know? Do you know that? And you can get this from verification by
Carlos.
Rob Heatherly. That me and Rob worked to
Right.
protect David Grush.
I'm just saying
Can you elaborate on that?
I've never seen
No, I'm not going to
anything from
elaborate on
Chris.
that.
Well,
I've never
Salon,
seen
my
anything from
question
Chris
to
that
you
says he
is,
has to
what were
flush
the
somebody out.
conditions of you being brought
Thomas
back
knows that.
into
LM
Disclosure
knows
tonight?
that. Anyone on
Regardless of
Disclosure Tonight
Salon,
in
I
the
think
back
that's
knows
great.
that.
I think that I'm not trying to paint you as a villain, but I am trying to say like what you tweeted, those public tweets were
Yeah, I
worse
was
than
a
anything I've ever.
hothead. People make
It's
mistakes.
worse than anything I've
People,
ever seen Chris
it's
do.
like the shit you said on Discord.
You can't
People
just say
make
people make.
mistakes.
You sure, but I didn't go ahead and
That was
attack a
funny,
Oh,
Salon.
that
whistleblower.
wasn't a mistake on Tupa's part. That's actually his belief
Yeah.
system.
Were you not
Oh,
told to
Thanks,
recant
Carlos.
and to admit
Slavery was
fault
a
so that
choice,
you could
according
get
to
back to
Tupac.
Disclosure?
So, some of the things Tupa said on what was it, Discord or yeah, that were brought up was slavery was a choice. That was one of the main ones. Yeah, there were, and it wasn't out of rage. These seem to be like, I don't know, edgelord type situations maybe.
Tonight and be allowed to talk on that platform?
recant what?
He literally just told you what he said, and you just made up an entire new statement and asked him if it was true. So,
Yeah,
Alan,
yeah.
are you interested in the truth?
What have said that one of them was something about like where he would go into a neighborhood and yell like the N-word really loud or something. I don't know. It was a bunch of like dumb edgelording bullshit. So to compare that to like something you would say like when you're really frustrated or worked up, it's kind of apples and oranges.
Or just interested in him saying whatever it is you
Well,
want him
the
to
only
say?
way through this is for there to be a clear understanding of what happened.
He told you
He
what happened.
already
They
told
told
you.
him to come
LM,
on and
as
own
your
it
friend,
and
like
apologize.
we need to get over this, LM. Like as your
Yes, so Han's right, bro. Rotary. Um, it's a nothing burger. I remember when Swan was posting that stuff. He was all raging out, and I was frustrated then too, cause when Grush first came out, a lot of us thought that we were on the edge of disclosure, and it was just a really frustrating time. I remember those
friend, I'm telling
days.
you, we need to get over this and just focus on the UFOs.
Okay, sure.
Like this is what Tupa and RPK wanted. They wanted
This
to
is the
derail
topic
the
at hand: online
conversation.
campaigns against whistleblowers. We're discussing
No,
them.
Hannah's DMing him right now, telling him what
You
questions
saw
to
Okay.
David
ask.
Grush was talking mad shit
Online
about Lou on the last.
campaigns,
What do you guys think about that? How about that? How about this idea that
online
Grush and
campaigns against
Lou
whistleblowers.
are part of the same
Man,
thing? But last time we heard from Grush, he's shit talking Lou on Megyn Kelly.
He's not shit. He's not shit talking
You
Lou.
said it in a space, even Sawan. I heard you.
Well, Swan's
Yeah.
a
Okay.
hothead. He can say whatever he wants.
No.
It doesn't have for anything. This
No.
is
I'll
this
give
Even
is
my.
a
Herb did,
I'll give
right,
my
Sawan?
clarification. No. I'll give my opinion again. Lou. I mean, what Grush said, what he said against Lou, because if he doesn't know if Lou worked in the legacy programs, but it does look like Lou had some kind of involvement in the legacy program, and that Grush did not know about.
So if Lou's working in the legacy program and his online friends are Mike Disclosure doing these campaigns against whistleblowers like David Grush, isn't that kind of like what we're talking about at hand?
But where is there any proof of anything of Lou working in the legacy program? It's all a bunch of, speculation.
Do you think Grush and Gerb just pulled?
When Fessler asked him what Panda did a laugh emote. See, some of the times it's almost like a work. He knows the shit he's saying is ridiculous.
That out of nowhere though? You think they just pulled that out of Grush and Gerb? The two G's?
Grush was around that era was when was the last time I actually thought there was a there. Now I think it's all just greed and bullshit.
All right, so
yeah, I know. I got it on a different recording, Panda. We're gonna save it for tomorrow. Here in a minute, I'm gonna jump over and check out Average Chris's account if he didn't put it on private.
when it comes to attacking whistleblowers, we have two of the main culprits on UFOX right here.
Sawan.
And
I
Red.
apologize, bro. I apologize for the shit.
I bet I was getting on Gabe's nerves so bad. Did you hear me? I said I apologize. I don't know where it's at. Dude, I was sent it, and like when I would download the file, I was having a hard time refinding it, and I had two save files, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to like grab it while I'm live. So I'm gonna have to save it for tomorrow. We'll go over it tomorrow. I know I have it.
Red and Tupa are never going to apologize.
Gabe,
because
just
they feel like
because you can't keep up doesn't mean that we're a threat.
Let him
and
finish.
you have
Stop
followers
interrupting
today.
people, especially
Carlos,
people
I
who
was in the
have
middle
like
of the
some sort of
sentence. Carlos, I
difficulty
was in
in
the middle of the
actually
sentence.
in
Carlos,
actually
can I
making up
finish?
Carlos, you're right.
sentences.
Can I
Like
finish?
he's trying to
Go ahead.
talk and you're not letting him finish. So let him finish before
Can
you
I
actually stop
finish?
Thank you,
Can I
Carlos.
finish, Carlos?
Tupa, give me a sec. Tupa, give me just 1 sec. So, you guys have had a campaign for 8-9 years of slander.
Oh, I'll play
right,
the part where
against
Mike
one
comes in.
whistleblower, and
I can play that part.
it's clearly spilled over to, Joe Rogan Experience. It's gotten that big. Do you feel like
So I'm just gonna fill everyone in. When Gabe mentioned their bullshit has gotten all the way to Joe Rogan, one of their little butt buddies, Jay Anderson, went on the Joe Rogan show, and he regurgitated some of the Tupa and Panda lies about the imaginary Lou crew and stuff.
your vendetta is more important than the UFO topic itself?
No.
Hold on. First of all, 8 or 9 years is insane to say.
Yeah, it is.
Gabe.
Like 4 years.
I haven't
5
even been
years.
on
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 years.
the platform that long. Number two, my family's more important to me than UFO disclosure. So anything
I believe that totally. That's why it's get famous and make money at all cost, and the community and disclosure comes next.
that threatens them or puts a target on them or their
That's
backs is going
fair.
to be an issue for me, and that's going to become number one.
That's fair.
That's just the way I feel.
Shut up, LM.
LM glazing him. This is a glaze-free zone, LM.
No, it's fair. What are you talking about?
Look
Shut
at
up.
it.
It's fair.
Did you hear me? I'm gonna rewind it.
sentences. Like
finish?
he's trying to
Go
talk
ahead.
and you're not letting him finish. So let him finish before you actually stop talking.
Thank you,
Can
Carlos.
I finish, Carlos?
Tupa, give me a sec.
Okay,
Tupa, give me
I'll
just
push
1
it
sec.
forward.
So, you guys have had a campaign for 8-9 years of slander, right?
The hell
against one whistleblower, and it's clearly spilled over to, Joe Rogan Experience. It's gotten that big. Do you feel like your vendetta is more important than the UFO topic itself?
No.
Hold on. First of all, 8 or 9 years is insane to say.
Yeah, it is.
Gabe.
Like 4 years.
I haven't
5
even been
years.
on the platform that long.
Listen to LM answering for him. Dude, these little Tupa minions. Ugh. Grow some nuts.
Number two, my family's more important to me than UFO disclosure. So
I was
anything
already
that threatens
annoyed.
them or puts a target on them or their
That's
back is going
fair.
to be an issue for me, and that's going to come number one.
That's fair.
You know, like
Yep.
that's just the way I feel.
Shut up, LM.
No, it's fair. What are you talking about? Shut up. It's fair.
Family first.
Right. So if it does come out, Red and Panda, that Lulazana was telling the truth the whole time, are you going to apologize
Well, he
for
wasn't though.
the slander?
No.
All right, well, let's push it forward till Mike makes his glorious entrance. And that's only fair, because Mike should get to have his say too in this space. I left because I had to go set up my podcast. So once I drop is probably when he comes in. So I'm scrolling and until I'm gone. I'm still in there. Old school wrestling in the background. Man, a lot of shit happened in between. Let's see what we're talking about right here.
There, Northrop Grumman and Lockheed Martin are actively targeting people, and that's why I got upset earlier, because Aerospace Chris, this is my last sentence here, Aerospace Chris, this is my opinion, is being paid like these companies, like Matthew Brown said.
Okay, I would have give T.O. his say here.
I just want to throw that out there. I'm not saying they're all bad, but I have to use these terms. And when I say gatekeeper, people that have, for whatever reasons, basically ran the UFO legacy program and kept it a secret from Congress, from Senate, and from the American people, and basically the world. You want to know more about that Phillips dude, just look at Gerb's post. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that he posted it over it. So maybe he has something to do with Matthew Brown. I don't know. Very interesting. But one last thing I want to say while I'm up here, because I do have to leave here soon. He mentioned Northrop Grumman today. That's huge.
It is more than 10 minutes. Okay, I dropped off now. So you should.
So, Carlos, the White House press corps, I think, what's her name? I forgot her name.
Anna Kelly.
Yeah.
I fucking tweet a bunch. He hasn't tweeted the same day that Netanyahu hasn't been seen. But the gentleman's dude who did the
fascist. You look at what Biden was, you look at what Starmer is, that's fascist, that's authoritarian, that's a government who shuts down free speech.
Yeah,
Maybe
Fessler,
that's
you're
just
throwing me off.
how they are, from where they're from, and everything,
Okay,
their
I'm gone
upbringing. But
now.
it just seems a bit less personal than it
Okay,
should be.
Mike's up there now.
And she did confirm the whole.
Mike's up now. Let me go back to where he showed up. I see him on the panel. Oh, I wanted to get Grider too. Man, here's Grider. I got something for Grider too. So we're gonna let it play from
and
here.
now he thinks he can come up here and derail the conversation about himself. No, Grider, you're a
Yep, we got to get Grider in on this. Here he is. Grider is
Glad to
the
be here.
ultimate wanker.
I just came up here to do one thing, and that's challenge T.O. Red.
So we were having, this dynamic conversation, and suddenly Grider's up here, and he's challenging Tio, and yeah, this guy is such a douche.
Once and for all, we're gonna settle this.
T.O.
Will
and
you debate
Red.
me on box? Right? No more lies. No, T.O. Red.
I'm gonna rewind it a little bit. So he goes, Tio Red, and I was trying to derail his little spiel. So I went, oh, Tio and Red. And it took him a second to realize, and he went, no, Tio Red. I was trying to derail him.
Another MAGA Republican. and everyone knows that they're going to step down and resign the minute they win. There's a clear path to it, and I do think.
Yeah, exactly. He needs.
Yeah, and I'll go to the Supreme Court.
He needs to.
You really think?
I don't think he's even going to do that. I think what he's going to do is just declare emergency because once he reveals aliens are real, he'll have a legitimate reason.
Yup.
Declare like martial law.
Martial law, hold
And
on to power.
suspend everything.
Yup.
Suspend elections. So disclosure is gonna be a double-edged sword.
You hit the nail on the head.
So is it on us to
I
make
agree,
sure that
Gabe.
doesn't happen? Like, why should we be going along with it?
It's a good
Well,
question.
people aren't gonna go along with it, but it's more like he has enough. How should I say? Enough fanatics, right, in positions of power with guns and weapons and everything to see it through. So because of that's how fascist governments work. They don't care about the will of the people, the vote of the people, so long as they can control
Grider's
the
patience is wearing
individuals
so
who hold
thin.
the levers of power, the banking sector, transportation.
When you talk about fascist, you look at what Biden was, you look at what Starmer is, that's fascist, that's authoritarian, that's a government who shuts down free speech, puts people in jail for saying things, and it's just like, we don't want that, do we? Really?
Dude,
We've got a
there's
couple
they
of
made
hands now, guys. We've got Grider's hand, and then I think Tio had his hand up as well. Go ahead, Grider.
God's sauce is down
Gosh,
there
what a
too.
panel! What a panel! Really, it's an amazing, amazing panel. You know, lots of friends up here. Glad to be here. I just came up here to do one thing, and that's challenge Tio Red once and for all. We're gonna settle this.
What a
Will you
puck.
debate me on Bob? Right? No more lies. No, Tio Red. Whatever his name is, Gandalf. You know, just saying
Tio
right now
and
in
Red.
front of everybody. Will you debate me on Bob Lazar? It's a yes or no question.
Debate me on Bob Lazar? What does that prove? The most, like, ultimate UFO Twitter nerd thing to challenge someone to do. We will debate about who knows more about Bob Lazar. It's just so stupid. But to come up and disrupt the whole conversation for that bullshit.
You challenged me and then you backed out. The answer is no, bitch. You already lost, bitch. Yeah, did you hear me? That was my answer. No.
All right.
Tio telling him no. I just want to show a couple things from Grider here real quick. This shit's kind of funny. I don't think people understand how nutty that guy is. So this one right here. Here, it'll be good so I can delete some of them out of the way. This was him when he was trying to pay me to go into a group chat. And they were all his friends, bro. And look, it says, I will give you $50 if you are the last account standing. And it was a group chat on Twitter. And they hurt his feelings, so he wanted me to go in there and fucking go ape shit on him and like run them all out. And I talked about how like I wasn't trying to, troll and shit. And then he upped it to 100. And like uh after that, I didn't end up doing it cuz I saw it was I think it was like it was one of the girls that I have no issue with group chat at the time. And I told people because I was never friends with this douchebag. Like, he was always an asshole to me. So it's not like I'm going to cover for him. So I told people about it. And I started getting these DMs and they were from his corny ass sock accounts. He's got all these lame sock accounts. This one, DJ Falcon. And this is really common. I'm not the only person he's done this shit to. Fucking lying cunt, fucking disgrace, waste of life. And, all I did was like, dude, you tried to bribe me to go harass your friends. which isn't a lie. Like, it's right there. Uh, but yeah, he's done that to several people now. You even have non-cred crying about him.
You
Kimball.
already had that
Yeah,
challenge
Sounds
with
like you're
him.
scared,
but I mean,
bro.
come
Sounds
on.
like you're
No, it's not
scared of
about being
Grider,
scared.
Yeah,
dude.
you know, scared. I mean, no,
It's
if you
not really
buck,
about being
man, you heard the
scared.
song, you know.
He ain't
Hey,
worth
retard! I made a
playing
All right,
rule in
this
so
my
here.
everybody
life
heard it.
to not talk to
It's
fuckbags
settled
like
once and
you.
for all.
So
No, hey, it's
if
cool.
you challenge
Hey,
me,
dude,
That was
come on,
coolest.
cheap raw
the
fuckbag.
last thing I want
Hey,
the space to
fuckbag.
turn into, like, you know, talking
Why
my
don't you get a
cowardice. Like I'm
girlfriend?
saying, like everybody, hey,
Why don't you
cowardly
get a
little lion, hey,
girlfriend?
go to the.
Dude, what a douchebag. I wanted to get Mike Disclosure coming in.
Is lost. Abazar has the
Nobody wanted to talk about fucking Bob Lazar
UAP
in here.
reporting center.
Yeah, UAP James has blocked me as well. He
Wait, he blocked you?
he messaged me and tried like telling me like how I should
I
do my
think
clips
Mike's
and
on
how
the
I should do this and
speaker
how I should
now.
do that, and I made a little bit of a sarcastic reply, and he didn't take it too well, and he blocked me. But yeah,
Whoa, that's a bummer. I mean, it helps. I mean, Congress people see our clips and keeping it in the zeitgeist. You know, not everyone has time to watch like super long form stuff.
he's
So,
funny,
Hey, look,
James.
Mellow Seabit is in the audience too.
and Estella, what do you think happened to McCaslin and Justy?
Does Mellow Seaman ever come up?
I think he's
Yeah, we're
About
gonna
a year earlier, year and a
jump
half
over
earlier.
on X. All right.
It's interesting. Not sure if it lines up.
We're gonna jump over on X now and check out the average Chris's account. I wanted to get this in before I finished my stream here. I got one or two more things I wanted to show here. So we'll probably end up on this. And we're gonna check it out, bro. I couldn't find it. I'm gonna go over a little bit of it tomorrow. I'll go in and find the segment and put it up. It was cut into 3 clips and I'm unorganized. Dude, I was getting so frustrated during the setup cuz I couldn't find anything that I had saved to use for the podcast. It was 3 it was in 3 different segments and they were like scattered in different places and I was having a super hard time refinding them. Alright, so his name, Aerotech, at, what is it? Aerotech, I bet dude, if I had to guess, I would say he probably put it private. Let's jump over. No, he's still not private. We're going to go over some of this guy's account. And I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not going to, be biased about it. I'm going to be real cuz he's had me blocked for a long time as you can see right here. And uh I don't I don't follow his posts. I've seen him be a dick to my buddy Satanic. That's who I've seen this guy mainly be a dick to. And a lot of it has to do with uh what is it? His horrorcore and satanic stuff. I'm going to have to play it tomorrow. I can't find it. We'll do a part 2 on it cuz I'm going to have to come back to it and do the money penny section too. All these cutouts over here were from earlier in that space and it went too long. I'm trying to wrap up here soon. Okay, here he's going at what? UAP Gerb. Somebody tell UAP Gerb that just because you can Google search people who used to work for aerospace companies doesn't mean they're currently part of use. So he's kind of challenging Gerb's researching abilities. He does seem to challenge everyone. Look, shout out to Red Panda Koala for having my back and asking for evidence. So, this Woe Vinny account, one of my friends, Carlos, actually accused it of being one of his socks. and it's in the spaces. I don't know why. I mean, he's a part of the community. Um, so I don't know why he can't just come join the space. Like nobody's scary. But these are the gatekeepers and of UFO Twitter. And when I talk about the UFO Twitter gatekeepers, it's not like an imaginary group when, like Tuba and Panda talk about the Loot Crew, but they don't name anybody. It's a specific group. It's Red Panda Koala, Tupacabra, UFO Shane, Full Spank Logan, Chris here. Then it kind of branches into the content creators, but it's a specific group that controls who gets promoted and who gets run into the ground on UFO Twitter. And when one of them is challenged in any way, they come running to protect each other. And that's what you're seeing here. Vetted put one out too. Like they're all, they all join hands. So who is the, organized group? It's like they put out the call. Uh, Here he's going at Corbell a little bit. I think he's retweeting paranormal. Most recent episode with Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp. They do a follow-up interview with Matt Brown, the supposed whistleblower. The same set of documents. In the episode, the most crucial part that no one seems to be talking about is that Jeremy Corbell claims he was told by a representative of the office of the director. Look at it. Oh, shit. The most crucial part that no one seems to be talking about is that Corbell claims he was told by a representative of the office. Matt Brown is a racist Jew hater. That's what everyone is kind of referring to when they say that he seems to go at the whistleblowers as fast as they come out. Uh, More telling than your posts, though, are your responses. And that's what I really wanted to look at. I do think there is a group, specifically the gatekeepers I talk about. I do think it's possible that they're being paid by a bigger name above them. Screen is not perfectly. So look, he's debunking some shit here. Stuff back to Gerb. Gerb is a very smart fella. And then his response. Is he? Or is he just Google searching aerospace company higher ups and just connecting goofy dots? So he seems to have a hard on for Gerb, doesn't he? That's what was mentioned in this space. Him kind of challenging people's credibility, their research techniques. Like he's the only one that can do proper research on ufology. I mean, he repeated it twice, which is kind of cringe. It's definitely a cynical bastard, ain't he? Here's his corny ass post to Panda again. Here's something with Elizondo. Look, here's the vetted one. Dude, these guys, this is the most telling thing of all of it. is how they react when one of them is questioned. When one of them's motives or credibility is challenged, how they all come running together, vetted. Dude, his mod is that girl that tried to sextort me with the D pics. These guys are sketchy as fuck, bro. All of them are. And they all get in line to protect each other. I asked Panda, it's in the recording, uh, if he considers him to be a good neighbor. And he's like, well, yeah. That's the terminology that they use, is meaning that you're part of the little crew. And I got more stuff to go over, and we're gonna do it tomorrow. I promise we'll go over Mike's part in the space. Um, but I have Moneypenny telling him, that was another one I couldn't find. It's an image, it's a screenshot, and it's Moneypenny telling him she wants nothing to do with his little network, Red Panda Koala, and that he's the main reason she's leaving the community. And then you have Somber, when he went all ape shit and started blowing the whistle on Panda and his little group, he was talking about Panda and his little murder she wrote bitches running around spying and infiltrating people. And we're gonna play that. And all this together paints the story of an organized hate group being led by Red Panda Koala. And that's what tomorrow's episode's going to be over. We kind of ran out of time going over this space, and I didn't realize it was broken into 2 segments, so let's see. To be honest, I don't see the average Chris as harassing or attacking these people. And obviously, I'm going to have um a real laxed opinion on that, especially with, some of the people I'm friends with. King Milkfire being one of my closer friends on the app. Um, I don't think the average Chris is running around harassing or attacking people. I think that's a line that we need to keep open. I think people need to be allowed to be critical of these so-called whistleblowers and experiencers. I've even talked about it in my videos that strange experiencer dynamic where all you have to do is come up with a ufology claim, a experience with an extraterrestrial, and then suddenly you're under a cloak of protection. I think it's the opposite of science. And if everybody that makes it clear they don't buy one of these stories is accused of attacking and harassing people, you end up with obviously an echo chamber. Uh, that being said, I think the average Chris has been kind of a dick. I was cool with the guy, and it for him to be getting frustrated, to get kind of thrown under the bus unfairly here, with these accusations. That's all it took for him to block me, was challenging him a little bit, pushing back with one of his statements, which was, I'll find that statement. It was a statement to satanic, and basically it was an attack on his religious rights. And that's what I asked Chris was, as a veteran, didn't you fight for people to have the right to express themselves freely, including religion, and things like that? And he blocked me immediately. We were cool through all the King Milk fart and everything, and that's all it took, was one little challenge. And so I think the guy's kind of a wanker, but I don't think he's out here harassing or attacking whistleblowers. I just don't like that word. I think words like that need to be um kind of protected and used a lot less, because when you use words like that so regularly like we do on UFO Twitter, eventually they lose all meaning. Words like doxing have even lost meaning in that community. Harassment, stalking is another one that gets thrown around. Anybody who is keeping up with what the scoundrels on the other side of the community are doing. They're stalking. It just it it's a slippery slope, and I think it's bullshit when it happens to me or my friends. So yeah, I'll call it out when I think it's unfairly happening to the average Chris, which I do think that was a little unfair. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to end the stream. I appreciate everyone hanging out. My numbers were actually really good tonight, which is awesome. I got more to go over tomorrow. It went kind of long, the first segment of that space, and I got Money Penny's part coming in, and also we'll go over Disclosure Mike's part, because I wanted him to have fair representation, since LM and Sawan kind of discussed a lot about him. And yeah, so we'll do that tomorrow. It'll probably be a short episode, so be looking for that around 9-10 o'clock. If anyone wants to support financially watching now or back later, buymeacoffee.com/TeeJay Felony. You can support anonymously. Just leave your name blank, so the Tuba crew and Full Spank Logan don't read your name out in a space and try to intimidate you. You can also support on ko-fi.com/TJ Felony. And well, there was one other thing. Oh yeah. If you haven't subscribed yet, like, share, subscribe, all that shit. And I will see you all tomorrow night, probably around 9 or 10. And I really appreciate you all hanging out, give my content a chance, even you, Panda. I'll see you all next time. Peace out. Be good to each other. It's only Twitter.